Okay, Christine, this is Dave.
Good morning, Christine.
He's your man. He's the guy that's going to make this whole project happen. So we've been talking, and I'll fill you in. He's also going to give you a call a little bit later. We've talked a bit about the erosion issues, and that is on their list of things to do. They are going to be dropping, what do you call that, the drainage?
Yeah, so we're actually going to start your foundation next week, and then once we get the footings and the foundation in, we'll be doing a rough grade around, making sure that the water is moving away from the foundation in all directions. And of course, we will have the foundation waterproofed with the foundation drain carrying the water away too. So you have a beautiful lot here, and we do not have any issues with drainage as far as being able to move water away from the house. So,
and the erosion issue that we just talked about, you said you guys were going to drop the storm box?
Yeah, so up at the top of the hill there is just a 12-inch yard box that catches a little bit of water in between the houses up above, and then it's piped down the hill and it'll be out and around away from your house. And so the box needs to be lowered a little bit. Water is bypassing the box and eroding down the hill, so we will be addressing that and having that taken care of. So
wonderful. And then you guys will be rerouting the piping around so it won't be coming directly through the lot.
Yep. Okay. And there'll be a swale in the back of the house carrying the water away, and then down to the right side and at the left side carrying water out to the street.
Awesome. And you mentioned that you have already gotten permits pulled, which is awesome.
Yep.
And you'll be working on foundation next week?
Yes, we will be breaking ground next week, and then plan on about 7 months from the time we break ground, and it may go faster. We will certainly do our very best to move along at a steady pace. Okay. And we've got a system and process that works really well. And I'd be happy to keep you informed along the way.
Awesome. Okay, so now I'll let you get back to your sheet. So what are we doing today?
So the purpose of today's meeting is to, first of all, make sure we're on the right site here. So we are on lot 72, and we'll be taking a look at a site plan, which I have, and I'll give one to you, Elizabeth, and you can pass this on as well. So I don't know if this will show up, but this is the placement of the house. So we are building the 2135 two-story home. It is a garage left, and that is based on really the slope of the road. You can see the road is higher on the left than the right, and so by putting the garage on the left, then we have a driveway that is not as steep as it would be over here, and we're also able to put fewer stairs going from the garage into the home. Okay. We'll talk about setbacks, and we'll talk about utility easements in the front, a little bit about the construction sequence. This is the first of 3 formal meetings, and like I said, I'll give you a call on the phone and review all the contract docs and introduce myself over the phone to make sure that I answer any questions that you have. Okay. And then we will have a pre-drywall orientation as the next formal meeting, and I know you are quite a ways away from here in Oregon, but we'll try to give you some advance notice. If you can make it for that meeting, that's great. If not, of course, Elizabeth and I can meet again, and we can I can also call you and we can discuss everything over the phone. So the pre-drywall is very interesting. You get to see the bones of the structure, so to speak, the skeleton, talk about the structural components of the home, and also make sure that anything that needs to be installed at that time is before we cover it up with drywall. So all the plumbing, electrical, HVAC, anything that needs to be in, we want to make sure go through all the contract documents in detail and make sure that everything is in place before we close up the walls. And then the final formal meeting will be the new home orientation. At that point, the house is complete, our inspection reports are complete, our punch lists are complete. We have a CO, we've had power for a while, we've run all the systems, we've had the cleaners and painters through several times, and punching out all the items and making adjustments and tweaking everything to make it just right for you.
So let me ask one question. Typically when I do new home construction, I advise my clients to get a home inspection prior to closing, in part to create a punch list. I mean, that's primarily what I use it for.
Sure.
Is that something that you all feel comfortable with, allowing us, I mean, I know that we're allowed to do it, but doing that and then providing a list of things that we want fixed, and then what does that time frame look like?
Yes, so absolutely. Some of the homeowners will have home inspectors, and typically it's when they have a realtor involved that recommendation is made, and I understand that. And they're more than welcome to come in. I always encourage another set of eyes to take a look. We want to make sure that everything is done absolutely right for our customers, and having another set of eyes is just one more way to make sure we haven't overlooked anything. So the timing of that is usually about a week before closing, or maybe a little sooner than that. So I try to get my CO and my power on a week to 2 weeks before the new home orientation. And the new home orientation is typically scheduled about a week before closing. And we do that so that we'll walk through the house, and it truly should be an enjoyable new home orientation experience and not a punch list session if we've done our job. And we are fortunate to have an excellent team out here of contractors. But with that said, we will open up doors and drawers and look at everything, and if there are any items that need to be adjusted, corrected, miscellaneous paint touch-up that we've overlooked, we'll make notes of that, and then we'll get together 3 or 4 days later prior to closing to make sure that all those items are complete, and you can sign off and go to closing with peace of mind that everything is 100% complete. So the new home, the home inspection, we like to have a few days before the new home orientation if we can.
Okay.
And again, we want to make sure we have power and that everything, all the systems have been started up and checked. And then substantially complete. Sometimes we'll still be working on some, paint punch out when the home inspector comes. But really, other than cosmetic items, they'll be looking at all the kind of the big picture things, the systems, and running and checking and making sure that everything is good. And so, the home inspectors that have been out here have been very complimentary to my team as far as the construction details and the thoroughness and quality of construction. So certainly I welcome a home inspection, and happy to work with them and make sure that any details that we need to take care of are complete.
Wonderful. And also in the state of North Carolina, there is a 12-month builder, warranty that goes with the house.
There is.
Okay, so if anything were to pop up, anything were to stop working, you guys would still be available on site to respond to that.
Absolutely, yes. So you have a 12-month bumper-to-bumper warranty that covers any defects in workmanship or material. And then in addition to that, of course, there is the state statute for 6-year structural warranty by the general contractors. But we also provide a third-party warranty protection program through the 210 Warranty Corporation.
That's right. Okay.
So that takes you still have the same first-year coverage. In the second year, there are some systems warranties, and I'll explain that when we meet for the new home orientation. And then your structural warranty is then extended out to 10 years.
Oh, wonderful.
So what that does too, and you would always call us first if you had an issue. We haven't had any claims. 210 really doesn't get involved. It's for us, for a good reputable builder. We've been in business since 2006, and we're a growing company. It's more of a marketing tool, peace of mind for homeowners that don't know who we are. But what it does do is if the owner of Sundog decided to retire tomorrow and close the doors, you still have a warranty through 210 Warranty Corporation. So if there was something that needed to be addressed, you have somebody you can call.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah. Okay, I'll let you do your thing now. I'll stop asking questions.
Okay, so basically, here, let's walk up to the side a little bit. And we'll see if this, hopefully this will show up on the video. But you can see there's some orange stakes out front here. These are the 2 front corners of the garage. And then the orange stakes around the perimeter are the outside. So you see a couple on the right-hand side. That's the right side of the home. So the orange stakes really outline the footprint of the home. The blue stakes, there's a few in front, and those are the front porch piers. Then there are some blue stakes further back, which are the interior piers for the structure. And then all the way in the back, there's a couple of blue piers, and those are the piers for the porch. And I know we're doing the covered screen porch on the back, and we have quite a few other options as well. And I'll certainly go through those over the phone with you when I give you a call as well. Make sure that I understand everything and that we're clear on everything. So there is a orange stake out front up here, and that's the right front property corner. So the property starts approximately 10 to 11 feet off the back of the curb, and this first 10 or 11 feet right here is the utility easement. You can see some of the pedestals. So your electric and the cable service runs through here. The gas line is actually on the opposite side of the street and will feed underneath the road over to the home. And then there are setbacks. So from these stakes, we have to be at least 10 feet back. So that puts the house approximately 21 feet back from the curb to the face of the garage. So the driveway is going to be about 21 feet long. And then we have 10-foot side setbacks as a minimum, 5-foot side setbacks on each side and 10 feet in the back. Now this particular home sits a little over 13 feet off the side property line on the left and the right. So you have a little more elbow room from your neighbors. And then you can see there's the 10-foot setback. So there is over 24 feet from the back of the house to the 10-foot setback, and then there's another 10 feet there. So there's 34 feet behind the house. And that's going to put it somewhere kind of right at the bottom of that bank, I believe.
Okay.
It may be slightly up the bank. And I think that kind of covers the details for meeting today. Just making sure that we have the correct house plan and talk about the orientation. take a look at the site, make sure, of course, we're on the right site. We don't have any trees to discuss on this lot.
That's a good thing.
It is, and you know, we are basically graded and ready to go. So I want to thank you very much for the opportunity to build your home and for your trust and confidence. And I will give you my phone number, my mobile number, when I give you a call. And certainly if you have any questions, feel free to give me a call. Feel free to hit me up if you want some progress photos. And Elizabeth, you may be doing some of those too.
Yep.
I've built for many homeowners over the years that have been long distance and have never even seen the home until it's done. So this is not uncommon, and I believe that communication is the key. So we can do it by phone, and if you have a chance to be in town for the pre-drywall, that's a great time to meet. Otherwise, look forward to seeing you at the new home orientation.
Sounds good. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Dave.
You're very welcome.
Okay.
Thank you.